For many biologists like myself, we're driven by curiosity to understand the natural world. Parasites are ubiquitous. Every free-living organism has its own specialized parasite. So just by that account, over half of life on Earth is parasitic.
A parasite is any organism that is living in or on another organism and using that organism's resources to the host's detriment.
Penn State professor David Hughes' daily study revolves around the minutiae of life.
I'm truly fascinated by the biology of parasites, and I look at the world through the eyes of parasites. How did you get them all sampled?
I'm putting them all together to see if there's a difference within their clustering.
Hughes' research has zeroed in on Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, a parasite that has infected the ant population, resulting in the creation of zombie ants.
Ants walk through patches of spores, and these fungal spores attach to the ant's cuticle a little bit like Velcro. They literally blow a hole through the ant's body. At some stage, there's enough fungi inside the ant's body for it to do its final act, which is mind manipulation.
The parasite, now in control of the ant's behavior, directs its host to climb a tree and bite the vein of a leaf, where the ant dies. From this elevated position, the parasite produces spores that fall to the ground, resulting in the cycle repeating itself.
Mind control is inherently fascinating because even though they themselves don't have central nervous systems or legs or arms or wings, parasites can co-opt those parts of an organism's body and use them to get around the environment.
It's really freaky to think of another organism controlling your personality and what you do.
So I was first contacted by the executive producer for World War Z. They wanted a good grounding in biology.
What's most gratifying about it is that we get to put the science out there in a way that people enjoy.
Hughes and his team have visited 11 different countries on 5 different continents to study this behavior, ranging from the rainforests in Asia to the neighboring woodlands of central Pennsylvania. In the new Millennium Science Complex on campus, Hughes research teams in both the College of Agricultural Science and the Eberly College of Science have successfully replicated the parasite ant cycle for study in a controlled environment.
We have at Penn State zombie ants literally when we want, and we can gain better insight into how this fungus, this microbe, controls an animal's behavior.
We individually number all of the ants by painting little numbers and gluing numbers onto them. We film the ants at night so that we can analyze individual things that we wouldn't be able to capture if we were just watching them.
Hughes' hope is that lessons from the parasite ant dynamic will have practical applications around the globe.
Ants are a major source of pests both in the US as well as internationally. They can reduce the yield in a farm by as much as 40 or 50%. We're devising strategies that we can produce something that can precisely get into the nest and kill the queen with great efficacy.
What I find personally really interesting about this are the ramifications of changing one organism's behavior.
So you could think about this as a small town, kind of being invaded by these parasites. How does that single individual affect the group dynamics?
We can't study disease in human societies by actually infecting people, but we can do that with ants.